Spokane, Washington. It's the Gamebridge Super League. Tonight, our final game of our triple header on a soccer Saturday here in Gamebridge Super League play. Sean St. Jacques, Jay Barquette, our entire crew. Happy to have you with us. It's Spokane Zephyr and it's Dallas Trinity. And Jay, we look back at the season series between these two. Spokane won the last meeting back in October. Both teams could use a win tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. The first time these two teams met this season was the first game of the year. Dallas won that one 2-1, but both teams have gone through tons of turnover and lots of change as the season has progressed. Spokane with new head coach in Nicole Lukic. Dallas with a lot of injuries, had to plug in a lot of different players in different positions throughout the season.
We'll see how both teams handle what's a very important game tonight. One of the reasons it's important is you look at the standings here. Spokane trying to stay above the playoff line in that fourth spot with Sporting Club Jacksonville just ahead of them. Dallas is still 4 points adrift of the playoffs. The good news for the Trinity is they do have games in hand to try to catch up to the multitude of teams ahead of them as they try to get back into the playoff picture. When you look at Spokane in recent games, at times they have picked up results, but Coach Nicole Lukic talked to us about how they need to limit opponents' set-piece chances.
That's something that they emphasized in training this week, but they were really encouraged post that game versus Tampa a few days ago, just creating shots, 17 against them. That's the most they've had all season, but only 2 of them were on target. So they're really focusing on creating more chances on goal, but quality out of those.
We're focusing on Lena Solano as our player to watch for Spokane Zephyr. She has 3 goals in the league this season.
She's a player that makes that stretch run to create space for others to create in front of goal. A key for her, though, for head coach Nicole Lukic was how do we get her facing towards goal so she has more of those opportunities herself.
We'll see if she can get back on the score sheet tonight. And well, for Dallas, winless in their last 5, 4 losses in a row. Interim coach Chris Petroselli highlighted how self-inflicted wounds have been tough to battle back from recently.
And a lot of that is mentality. You're seeing their play in the box, just staying locked in on all moments. They really are having to get back to who Dallas Trinity is at their core and going back to the basics in terms of play.
Talk about going back to basics. It helps when you have Allie Thornton who can really score goals at a high clip when she's going.
Yeah, she's a player that they really need to get activated. 2 goals on the season, but it has to be more. There's 7 other players with 1 goal on this team as well. They just need more offensive productivity to really have those chances to win these games and close them out as well.
Roughly a month left before the Gamebridge Super League takes a break, and time is of the essence as far as where you're placed in the Super League standings at the moment. It's a game that both teams really need to have. We'll see who gets the win when we come back. Kickoff on Peacock is coming up after the break.
Clark, amazing at assists. Gamebridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, great at assists. Gamebridge, great at assists for your savings.
Welcome back, everybody. Sean St. Jacques, Jade Barquette, our entire crew, happy to have you with us. Final game of the night in the Gamebridge Super League. Spokane Zephyr welcoming Dallas Trinity to One Spokane Stadium in the state of Washington. And Jade, we jump right into the starting 11s, starting with Spokane and head coach Nicole Lukic.
Making one change to their lineup. Charlie Boone in for Tori Zurenberg, who's out and doesn't look like she's available for them today. Charlie Boone making her third start for Spokane Zephyr.
Spokane trying to bounce back, and so is Dallas, of course. 4 losses on the bounce. Chris Petrucelli thinks this 11 can turn things around.
Yeah, Riley Foster in for Samantha Estrada at the goalkeeper position. Amber Wisner will drop to center back instead of playing in the midfield. McCutcheon is out tonight for Dallas in the starting lineup, so Celie Strawn in the midfield for Dallas Trinity.
Well, it really is a game that both teams could really use a victory in. Back-to-back losses for Spokane after they lost 1-0 on November 9th to Tampa Bay, which was their first win of the season. For Dallas, 4 losses in a row, winless in their last 6. They've been outscored by 13 goals in that span, trying to pump the brakes as they try to stop the slide here as we get closer and closer towards the midway point in this Gamebridge Super League season. Spokane are in home blacks. They're going from right to left here on Peacock, and we are underway from One Spokane Stadium. Dallas are in their light tan kits, and they're in possession in their own 18-yard box off to our left. It's not quite desperation time yet, but it's getting closer and closer to that. You want to be as close to, if not above, the playoff line as possible going into that winter break. There's only about a month left to get there. Dallas on the front foot here. That's a really good ball played across towards Allie Thornton. It's just out of her reach, and it is out of play. Mark Verso, our head referee, points for a goal kick.
Well, this is a great start for Dallas. Right from the build-up, off the goal kick straight to the goal. A beautiful ball across just out of the range of Allie Thornton. Well defended there by Spokane, but they're off to a great start here. Really trying to pin Spokane back into their own defensive half.
Well, Chris Petrucelli would love it if Dallas can build off of that early chance. The lack of clinical play has let Dallas down at times over this recent run. Trying to get off to a fast start here. That pass is wayward and picked off by Charlie Boone. Dallas win it right back on the edge of the area, and eventually Spokane are able to slam the door shut on this near side. Lovely ball played down the line here, maybe just a touch too firm, out in front of Cam Tucker. And Spokane, though, win the ball back on this near side. Emma Jaskinek striding forward here for Zephyr. Tried to play it square. In the end, Dallas are going to get there first. Now time to take a look at our keys to the game for both teams. Brought to you by 4. We start with Spokane Zephyr.
For Spokane, they really just need to deny those set pieces, something that head coach Nicole Lukic emphasized to us in our call earlier this week, is we don't really give up corners often, but we did against Tampa and it hurt us.
Chance for Spokane there. That needed a big touch from Riley Foster, the goalkeeper, to parry that out of danger. Another cross into the middle. The header is down. Oh, what a save that is. And the rebound is into the side netting from Fontenot. Fabulous save from Riley Foster to keep Spokane out.
Both of these teams having early opportunities. Amber Wisner tries to clear this, but Cam Tucker picks it up in a great area and whips this ball in, but what a save by Foster. And then on that far side, Spokane just could not slam the door on that shot, but what a fantastic start for both of these sides in this match.
Both teams a whisker away inside of 3 minutes to potentially opening the scoring here. And Dallas Trinity try to stay on the front foot down this near side, but Samar Guidry sees it trickle out of play. Remember, Spokane were held scoreless last time out here at home. That would have been a huge jolt for them. After, of course, Dallas nearly put it right on a plate for Allie Thornton in front of goal moments before that. A lot has happened, and we haven't even played 4 minutes.
Both these teams starting really fast. Excitement, nerves, all of the game day jitters. Both these teams searching for wins. Spokane on a 2-game losing streak. Dallas with a 4-game losing streak. They're going to be hungry for that win, especially for that first goal to put themselves up early.
We were talking about this earlier, just how tough this league continues to be. If you fall behind by too many points too early, you could immediately put yourself out of the playoff picture. Both of these two teams, particularly Dallas, don't want to see that happen. Really, to be fair to Spokane, they're really trying to push towards the top 3 at the moment, and they could be in behind again here. That's a critical defensive stand from Dallas. And Dallas Trinity do get it out of harm's way, just about. Well, the throw it on the near side gives us time to go into tonight's injury report. It's brought to you by Kinetic Chiropractic. A couple of notables really out for both teams. Vigiano out for Spokane. Danielson out for Dallas. She had a wonderful season last year for the Dallas Trinity. Oh, and Dallas pick off this pass in behind here, but then it's well recovered by Spokane. That was Sophia Braun to give Zephyr possession back. And the ball looped over the top will be easy enough for Foster. Of course, made a jaw-dropping save just a few minutes ago. It's played onto this near side for Guidry. And then it's clipped down the line out for a Spokane throw. Guidry, brilliant run, slides it through for Thornton. Thornton into the middle, tried to pick out Cameron Lancaster, but it's cut out and eventually lands out of play for a throw.
Thornton just held her run up just a little bit there to stay on sides.
On the byline here, decent cutback from Thornton, but Spokane Zephyr cleared away.
Dallas looking for that cutback ball early on in this match. Thornton just has crossed it twice into that PK area. Nobody there to pick it up for Dallas. Lancaster's on that back post trailing run. They just need somebody to make that front post run, number one, to pull the defenders away from the middle part of the box and then have that PK spot cutback run so that when that ball is played, they can tap it in.
We had a great conversation with Nicole Lukic, the Spokane head coach, earlier this week. Again, stressed trying to limit set pieces for Dallas. Knows how desperate Dallas are going to be coming into this game tonight. Also gave us a couple of nice thoughts about the transition that she's had, how helpful the team has been in that transition. She's a Wisconsin native. Whether it's been needing to get around just to help with team activities, to get her own groceries, things of that nature. The Spokane Zephyr organization's helped her every step of the way to make that transition, and she's continued to strengthen the relationship between the coaching staff and the players with this group. And her team stays on the front foot via a throw on the near side despite the good defensive challenge from Guidry. Kelsey Euler maybe took too much time to make a decision there, and it's going to be a Dallas free kick. Well, we also had a great discussion with that man, Chris Petroselli, interim head coach, GM of Dallas Trinity. He was very candid with us in our discussions. They have tried so many different adjustments, so many different tweaks with this group. And he said, frankly, none of it's worked to the level that we had anticipated. And that led to us talking earlier, keys to the game, getting back to the basics, the identity of the team, doing the little things well. He feels if they can get back to doing those things more consistently, limiting some of the unforced errors as well, that's when he feels like the turning point will come. But when is that going to happen? I'm sure a lot of Dallas fans are wondering.
Well, that's what he was wondering as well, is we can try all the different things and we can plug back into who we feel Dallas Trinity soccer is, possession style, tackling mentality, but that has to be played out on the pitch, and that's the most frustrating part for him, is just how can we replicate the things that we do in training well onto the game pitch.
And by the way, he had mentioned some of the goalkeeping errors, particularly in the last match, the 2-0 loss at home to Sporting Jacks. I'm sure a little bit of Chris Petroselli breathed a sigh of relief when Riley Foster made that big save earlier.
Oh yeah, and she's a mainstay in this net for Dallas. She's 8 appearances. This is going to be her 9th appearance. 17 saves on the season. She's added a few more already in this match. She's so confident in between the posts for Dallas, communicating with her back line, and really she has the best vantage point to move players that really help them in the possession and build up.
Of course, there is one other live game going on in the Gamebridge Super League at the moment, the Florida Derby between Fort Lauderdale and Tampa Bay. And at the moment, Tampa Bay have the lead. They're 1-0 up in the 78th minute. The Sun looking for just their 2nd win of the season after, of course, winning the title last year. And
it'd be a 2nd consecutive win for them as well, after they just played Spokane and got their 1st win of the season.
So we'll be keeping an eye on that game. Also on Peacock, by the way, if you want to go back and forth. That shot took a deflection on the way through. Foster read it beautifully, still made the catch.
Cam Tucker was so active in that game against Tampa Bay with crosses and shots just like these. In that last match, though, her head coach told her she had too many Wheaties for breakfast because those shots and crosses were a little bit overhit in that match. And so they replicated a lot of those situations in training this week to really have her pick out runners in the box, placing crosses. That was a beautiful strike from her from distance on goal.
Well, the Gamebridge Super League, of course, and other leagues are having the Prinks Tires Family Game Day Kit Sweepstakes. You can enter for a chance to win a prize pack worth up to $4,000. Scan the QR code on the screen right now, and you can enter today. That's quite the haul.
$4,000 worth of merch. That's kind of awesome.
Not too shabby.
Right?
Of course, this is the 3rd and final game of the day. You and I were on hand for Brooklyn and Lexington earlier. And Lexington just keep on humming down the tracks. Another 2-0 win for Misaki Hemi and Lexington Sporting Club. They're now 4 points clear at the top of the Gamebridge Super League table after a really impressive result. Mackenzie Weinert getting a goal and an assist, and well, Death, Taxes, and Addie McCain scoring in the Gamebridge Super League. She got the 2nd.
Lexington just continues their powerful run right now, matching the unbeaten streak from last season when Carolina set it at 11. They have now tied that this season, and they are looking like they're no shortage of power from that team offensively, and just the way that they are so connected defensively. It's going to be a good run for Lexington this season.
They've certainly been the pace setters at the top of the Gamebridge Super League so far. No questions about that. Tied a league record with their 11th straight game without a defeat with their win earlier this afternoon in New York. That's Haley Thomas poking it down the line on the far side for Spokane. Chance to maybe drive towards the byline here. It's well defended by Dallas, but at the expense of a corner off the Hinzen challenge. What can Spokane provide from this Idaho Central Credit Union corner? Jaskinek lays it off. It's poked back out wide by Reese Tappan. It's still with Spokane here. And it's whipped into the middle. Critical header away by Hannah Davison. Out for yet another Spokane corner.
Well, they play short here to the top of the 18. And I thought Jaskinek had a little bit more time where she could have taken that one herself, but they put it right back in the mix and had an opportunity on goal with Fontenot there, but they get a deflection for another corner kick.
And it's taken short from the corner and then whipped into the middle where it's redirected, and Foster is off her line to make the catch. Dallas looking to break up the other end. The ball in behind is for Thornton. Heisey gets there first, and there's a foul on Thornton either way. I'll scan now, and you'll win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you, Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flatstick Pub, Casa Tap House, Konala, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. Well, Spokane pressure here nearly leads to a takeaway. And poked out from harm's way by Davison and cleared by Riley Foster out for a throw.
A little bit chaotic in the back for Dallas right now. Foster going all the way out wide.
Another cross into the middle. Foster punches clear in traffic. Needed to get that right, and she did.
Coming off her line a lot in this match so far.
Sent back in by McCoy. Dallas again defensively get the head onto it. Reshuffled by Euler. And then Tappan plays it out wide with Spokane looking to attack that far side channel, at least initially. And that pass around the corner, nobody in a Spokane shirt ready for it. Guidry for Dallas. Able to loft it over everyone's head, but Spokane win it back with McCoy. Boone tried to play it out wide. It ricochets back into the Zephyr half. We talked about the season series earlier. The all-time series, Spokane leads with 3 wins to Dallas's 2. And just the 1 draw. Spokane's actually won 3 of the last 4 meetings with Dallas Trinity, and they've kept a clean sheet in all 3 of those wins. So it's been quite some time since Dallas has even scored a goal against Spokane, let alone gotten a result.
Well, for the Dallas fans watching, that's not that encouraging for them since they're just trying to look for goals and moments to grow in this season. They've only scored 9 goals this season, but have 19 goals scored against them. And it's really just been a part of Coach Petrucelli's motto and saying how he's talking to us just about how do we find those moments where we're growing, but we're also doing something that's successful on our offensive end rather than just making shot stops in our box.
You can tell just by talking to Coach Chris Petrucelli how much he cares about turning this around. He actually admitted to us that he's been having trouble sleeping at times, trying to figure out how to fix all of this for the Dallas Trinity. That's the other thing with this group. You can't question the work ethic and the energy that they're putting in. It just hasn't quite gone their way, and there's been some mental mistakes along the way that have hurt the team. There's been some unforced errors, but you can't question the fight. You cannot question the amount of effort that's being put in. But Dallas really want to make sure it turns around as quickly as possible, particularly before that long winter break in about a month or so. Ricochets out for a throw-in for Dallas on the far side. Lancaster will leave it. Sierra Hinson will take the throw. Gets it back, plays it towards the byline. Chance to maybe cross this for Dallas into the middle. It's towards the penalty spot. Jaskinek gets the header away. Spokane follow up with yet another defensive header. And Solano with the hold-up play. She loses the ball in the end, and it's out for another Dallas throw.
Dallas has weapons for them to create opportunities. So obviously we've talked about Ali Thornton up top, but you have so much opportunity. Cameron Lancaster on the side who's picked off balls already, going straight to goal from Spokane mistakes. She's so quick up top. They just continue to fight each and every time that they're out on the pitch. And it's something that their head coach was telling us about. They have that belief within themselves. It's just their confidence keeps going away once those losses keep racking up on the score sheet. But when you have a player like Celie Strawn on your side who's so creative, she's a weapon that they can use to connect with their forwards to really create more opportunities for them up top.
That ball is looped over the top. Spokane have it covered defensively. Back to Hope Heisey. This is Jaskinek. Really dwelled on it a bit too long there. Dallas's pressure was pretty good there, particularly from Balada. Now Solano puts some pressure on the Dallas Trinity back line. Wins a throw. Chance to stride forward here. Oh, but the ball had too much fizz on it, looking for Kelsey Euler, and it's out for a Dallas throw. Now, Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome our charity of the month. It's more than a home, it's a way to give back. Please visit our site, windermerefoundation.com, to find out more, I should say. Tappan runs it forward. Flares it out to the far side for Haley Thomas, who stood it up into the penalty area. Again, Dallas are there to do the defensive work, and they will clear it away. It's lovely hold-up play there from Solano. Jaskinek tried to thread the needle there. Dallas in a little bit of trouble in their own area, but eventually it's played back for Foster, who sends it out of play.
Well, Davison had a little slip there in the box that could have been detrimental for Dallas with the miscue of the clearance, but Spokane wasn't pressing hard enough or high enough for them to capitalize on that slip.
Spokane are doing well at regaining possession quickly. They have it again on the far side. McCoy was gliding forward there, and then in the end it's one back. Boone couldn't keep it moving in the right direction. Lenny Balada does well there for Dallas. It's played then onto this near side for Guidry. And Guidry made it a little bit too long to try to play it down the line. Spokane closed her down. And then eventually the whistle stops the play. It's pointing in Dallas's favor. Ball's looped over the top. Nobody there in particular to attack for Dallas there. I will say, after a ripping and roaring first 5 to 10 minutes, it has sort of simmered a bit, dare I say.
Evened out a little bit. No, there aren't racing back and forth. It's not a track meet. They're trying to build up and still their style of play. Dallas with the build up, being patient, but also looking for that ball over the top a little bit. Spokane's playing a little bit of a higher line because they are trying to press higher up the pitch. So Dallas trying to loop balls over the top. You see Lancaster coming all the way down into the midfield, trying to create a little bit more room for Thornton up top to be isolated with the back line for Spokane.
Again, the right idea for Dallas there. Try to thread the needle down that far side against Spokane, have it covered from a defensive point of view. Guidry steps in. It's a Zephyr throw. Taken quickly. Braun back onto this near side, and then Guidry cuts out the pass forward, and eventually Foster will clear it. Chance for Dallas here. This is Lancaster. He's initially trying to move that forward, and then again Spokane are there defensively.
Lancaster just didn't really have any help. Allie Thornton was trying to threaten higher up the pitch, but they just didn't have the numbers at the moment because of the pressure from Spokane to really try to regain the ball. She had Hinson going down the left wing, trying to overlap her, but no real help for Lancaster in that moment.
The pass there from Gracie Bryan is cut out. And down the near side it goes for Balata. Back for Bryan. And Bryan is forced to go back over the halfway line. We did talk about how Spokane were held scoreless in the last game. They've only scored 11 goals this season. That's actually the third fewest in the Gamebridge Super League. But one of the reasons they're in the top 4 is because of those 5 clean sheets. That's the most of any team in the Gamebridge Super League. So despite all the different attacking options that Nicole Lukic has with this team, it really has started with the defensive acumen that's given Spokane a chance to not just be in the top 4, but start to try to push even further up the table.
And a real reason for that is Hope Heisey, their goalkeeper, is so good back there. Head coach Nicole Lukic said that she would want her on her team, and she's glad that Hope Heisey is a part of Spokane Zephyr, because the way that she is in goal, the demands of her box, how lethal she is when she comes out and attack. She is good with her feet as well. She helps them in all aspects, but on that defensive side, she really just does the dirty work and cleans up anything that's in the box for Spokane, and sometimes will bail them out of moments too.
To back that up, Hope Heisey has 44 saves this season, and coming into this weekend's action, that was 18 more than any other goalkeeper in the Gamebridge Super League. That's quite the margin.
Oh, absolutely. And she does it all for Spokane in the back, and yet their back line is very good. They have a lot of attributes about them that make them a good threesome back there in the back together. They use the wing backs to come back and drop in as well. But Hope Heisey is really the mainstay and the star of the show for the Spokane back 5.
Well, Elite Minds, unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today. We were keeping an eye on that Fort Lauderdale Tampa Bay Sun game. There was a late twist in the game. Fort Lauderdale get a stoppage time equalizer, 90+1. 1-1 draws the final score, by the way, in the derby. And in this game, the opening goal arrives for Dallas. How about that? Sealy Strawn nudges it in. And in a game that Dallas need oh so badly to turn things around, they have the lead in the blink of an eye, almost out of nothing.
Well, the superstar youngster Sealy Strawn strikes here first in this match with a beautiful ball through, and her run right inside the center backs for Spokane, and all she has to do is redirect this ball into the back of the net. A beautiful service by Bellotta puts Dallas up 1-0 here against Spokane.
One of Dallas's academy products who has scored big goals for the Trinity before. She scores a massive goal here. And with 30 minutes gone, all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, Dallas are ahead.
And truly, Spokane had a lot of the opportunities here in the first half, most of the possession as well. But that's the weaponry of Dallas. When they get the ball in dangerous areas, they have people who can score. Sealy Strawn, a young product going to UNC next fall, is so explosive, and she uses her quickness to get inside of Spokane and hammer that one home.
We briefly cut over to Chris Petroselli, and he was pretty much stone-faced, but I'll tell you what, inside, he will be smiling about that. And now all of a sudden, some of that pressure shifts over to Spokane. Back-to-back games now at home that they have trailed to an early goal. They did not come back last time out. Can they respond in this game against Dallas as this match moves along?
Now for Dallas, it's just handling those small details of the game, of defending in the box, making sure that you're on the right side of your man. It's important to hold a lead and add to it as well, and especially against the Spokane team who has the ability to score just like Dallas did at the drop of a hat.
Samar Guidry, by the way, got the assist on the Strawn finish for Dallas. Brilliant ball into the middle. And Strawn did the rest. Dallas throw, meanwhile, on the far side. A little nudge in the back there, and Dallas Trinity will get a free kick. Lancaster brought down. Ball nearly ricochets through. Eventually Spokane win it back, and they look to flood numbers forward here in transition. Right onto this near side, Fontenot. Ball forces McCoy all the way back to the halfway line in a restart. Oh, lovely take. Let that ball roll down the line. Spokane players are queuing up in the middle, but they were awaiting a much, much better service. And Cam Tucker skewers it out of play.
Cam Tucker's service just looking eerily similar to how they were against that Tampa game. She gets the ball in those wide areas with time and space, beats the first defender normally, and then just gets so excited and picks her head up, but then just either hits the ball long or it doesn't find its target. And that's something that head coach Nicole Lukic was talking to us about what is it about those moments that really is the difference makers of completing a good cross or having it go over the crossbar. She said it's really just owning that moment, taking a breath, realizing that you have to complete this pass. It is your job in that moment to do that. So really just taking a breath, easing your mind, and then picking out that run. It's something that I know I mentioned this earlier, but they had worked on this in training this week. And so for Cam Tucker, when she gets that ball into the wide areas that next time, really just trying to echo those words of her coach in her head as she's dribbling.
Just about kept in by Jaskinek. Jaskinek cuts in field, the cross into the middle. It's a glancing header. It's going to go well wide. That's a goal kick. Gives us time to talk about COR Institute, your wellness playground. Ten minutes plus stoppage time left in the half. And Sealy Strawn has put Dallas ahead. It's her second Gamebridge Super League goal of the season. It's a goal that the Trinity needed oh so badly. Try to get themselves back on track. Oh, little nudge there. Thornton penalized, and it's a Spokane Zephyr free kick.
And not happy about that call at all. Thornton went directly to our head referee to debate that call, claiming that there's just been some pushing and shoving all game there in between her and Braun, but referee will disagree.
Fontenot. Eventually, Dallas step in defensively again. Zephyr get a throw in on the near side, desperate to try and find a leveler before the halftime interval arrives. Here's some of the youngsters here in Spokane trying to push Zephyr towards that equalizer with their support. Lovely turn there by Emma Jaskinek. Jaskinek towards the byline on this near side. Keeps the ball in. Waits for numbers to support. This is Sophia Braun. A bit of a recycle here. Tap in. On the far side, a push and a chase towards the byline. The cross takes a deflection. It's a free header. Oh, and it's off the bar. Spokane so close to finding the equalizer, thwarted by the frame. A foul against Tucker on the back end ends the sequence.
Cam Tucker with some brilliant and quick 1v1 work on Hinson on that far side. It takes a deflection, and then this one just off the crossbar. Sophia Braun finds herself unmarked in the box, or not marked very well by Guidry there. And it just glances off the crossbar. Beautiful opportunity there for Spokane to equalize here late in this first half. Just unfortunate hit for Zephyr.
Well, that is certainly Spokane's best chance so far. Well done there by Guidry to keep Dallas in possession. It's then looped over the top down the far side. Be a chance here for Dallas to look for a second goal here, but the ball from Lancaster is behind its intended target on the near side, and the attack fizzles out for the Trinity.
Amber Wisner has been feeding Cameron Lancaster this entire first half. As soon as Wisner gets the ball, she doesn't have that short option. She knows Cameron Lancaster has the speed and ability to beat the back line of Spokane 1v1. That time Lancaster collects the ball, cuts it inside, but then there was nobody in the box except for Ali Thornton, and then the trailing run of Ubogogu as they were getting to that point where she was going to cross it. She had to cut inside and take on a few more defenders, and then have that wayward pass, but Dallas just needs to commit more numbers in the box to really test Spokane and allow their wingers to put the ball in the box.
It's forced to go back to Hope Heisey. Now McCoy. Lovely ball to feed Braun, who is in space here, can run forward for Spokane Zephyr. Plays it out to the far side for Tucker. Tucker's been wonderful at times on this far side, and she slices one in there, but Dallas cleared out for a throw. Tucker continues to try to force the issue. This is looped in behind, and it's just about caught in the end by Foster. Now Select, the official matchball supplier of the Gamebridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. And as always, Select is the player's choice. Five minutes plus stoppages left in the half here in Spokane. Well, can Dallas build on their lead here? Ubogagu on the near side. Lays it off to the edge of the area, and the volley is sliced wide in the end. That's Sealy Strawn looking for her second goal of the night.
That time she just delayed her run a little bit, picked the ball up at the top of the D, and decided to rip a shot from outside, because why not? Young and confident, you've already scored one. Why not try to add another one? And it was a beautiful shot, just high over the crossbar.
Strawn battling for it on this near side, and is the guilty party on the foul here.
Strawn just following up the play, and there's definitely some extension of the arm there.
Down a goal, Nicole Lukic, hoping her team can at least get it back to level pegging before the halftime break, and particularly in a game coming off the back of getting shut out at home. Spokane really need to find an answer here. But Dallas do well to win the ball back, although Ubogagu could not take it any further than that. Jaskinek just tried to help it down the line. Dallas were there again. Does go out for a throw. And the crowd making themselves heard here. There was quite a crowd here. Last time that the men's side, Spokane Velocity, were here. Semifinals, USL League One. Incredibly dramatic game. Spokane scored right at the end of extra time to tie the game against Portland Hearts of Pine. And Lee Wiedman has led Spokane Velocity to a second consecutive USL League One final in just the team's second year of existence. They play One Knox tomorrow night. So many of the fans that were there that night are here tonight, hoping that Zephyr can continue the good times in Spokane. It's quite the time to be a Spokane soccer fan, period. End of sentence.
There's so much to be excited about soccer and the growth of it in this country as well, from the youth development levels to now with this league, the Gamebridge Super League, in its second season. Obviously, USL has been huge, so there's just a lot of excitement around the sport in general in these last few years.
Another Idaho Central Credit Union corner for Spokane here. And they're able to get it through to the edge of the penalty area here, and then on the byline is where Dallas are able to shut it down.
Lena Solano just ran out of real estate on that play. They did a good job of getting through the pressure of Dallas off the short corner, but she just took too long of a touch there to pass that one into the box or try to get a shot off.
That was a hopeful ball looped over the top, and Heisey resets for Spokane. All of a sudden, just under a minute of normal time left in the half. Hold up play by Solano. Oh, he's clipped into the middle. It was flicked on, and it's just going to roll out of play. Briefly a chance there for Charlie Boone to keep it going, but the attack will end there. We are into one additional minute at the end of the half. Picked up by Braun. Solano, final seconds of the half. Solano gears up for the cross. And the cross, unfortunately, from a Zephyr point of view, was not accurate. And that goal kick might just take us into halftime.
I think it will, Sean, and both teams have some exciting things going into this half. Obviously, Dallas going up 1-0 is huge for them with confidence, but they're playing good soccer as well. They're connecting through the lines. They're also finding ways to exploit Spokane with those balls over the top. Spokane now, can they capitalize on the opportunities that they have? Find those passes in the box, pick out runners, and then execute when they are in that final third.
Well, you saw there that Sealy Strawn, who's the goal scorer from the first half for Dallas, has put on the famous Gamebridge Super League headsets, because we're going to have some time to chat with her here before we go into the halftime break, with Dallas leading by 1-0 over Spokane Zephyr here at One Spokane Stadium. There is Sealy. Sealy, thanks so much for taking some time to speak with us. Wonderful first half from you and your team. Congrats on the goal. What do you take away as far as positives as a team performance in the first half?
Yeah, I think our effort was really good. I think we were working for each other. If one made a mistake, I think we had three covering behind them. So I just think this first half we really played as a team and we really stuck together.
Spokane had a lot of opportunities to capitalize there in the first half. How do you guys keep them away from your 18?
I think just cleaning up our touches, our passes. I think it can be just a little bit cleaner, just all over the field. So yeah, just cleaning up those touches, and I think we'll do good.
Sealy, thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it, and best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
That's Sealy Strawn, the goal scorer from Dallas Trinity. The visitors here in Spokane have a 1-0 lead going into the halftime break, trying to end their long losing streak and get back in the win column at the end of a triple header of Gamebridge Super League action on Peacock today. We'll have more from around the Gamebridge Super League coming up at the half, with Dallas on top in the state of Washington.
This year, the talent is even stronger than last year.
Yana Gorley has scored again. The first goal in Spokane history.
went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
Halftime here in Spokane, Washington. It's Dallas, the visitors, on top of Spokane Zephyr by 1-0. We'll get to the second half in just a few moments. But first, the Gamebridge Super League's Be Here series dives into the stories and experiences of players around the league. This video highlights Fort Lauderdale United's Bella Hara and the importance of her Guamanian heritage.
Hi, I'm Bella Hara. I'm a goalkeeper, number 31 for Fort Lauderdale United. I actually started as a outside forward, and so I filled in every now and then as goalkeeper when the team needed it, and I eventually saw that I think I like saving goals more than scoring them. Honestly, my heritage is everything, and I am Japanese, Mexican, and Chamorro, which is another word for Guamanian, and it means the world to me. To be able to represent and get international caps at the FIFA level is unreal. I'm honestly so blessed to say that I have 10 international caps. I was able to get my first call-up in 2023 to represent that crest and to sing the Guam hymn in the native language of Chamorro, and to know what that means to the people, the island, the team. We call ourselves a Masakata, which means strong woman. And I feel like there's such a sense of pride representing your island. I was invited by Alyssa Rogers to come in for a trial in preseason, and I didn't know what the result of that was going to be. And I just came in, put my head down, work, show what I can do on the field, who I am as a goalkeeper, who I am as a player and a teammate, and I'm so grateful to the staff and the team for giving me this opportunity. Being able to represent this club in the first game for my pro debut at home was honestly incredible, and I am so excited for what the rest of the season looks like.
Well, Bella Hara's story is one of the better stories in the Gamebridge Super League. Still a second half story to tell between Spokane and Dallas. Highlights and stats are next, followed by the second half kickoff in Spokane, with Dallas leading. Welcome back, everyone. Sean St. Jacques, Jade Barquette, our entire crew. Happy to have you with us. It is the Gamebridge Super League nightcap between Spokane and Dallas, with the Dallas Trinity on top as we dive into the first half highlights. A lot of action inside the first 5 minutes of this game. Spokane on the front foot and a jaw-dropping save on the back end.
It was a really good save from Foster. He had to come up big after this header from Ginger. Fontenot found herself alone in the central part of the box, and then they just could not capitalize, but Dallas could in the 29th minute. Celie Strawn gets on the end of this beautiful cross from an early service, and she gets on the inside shoulder of Sophia Braun, who was dropping back in to help defend. Guidry put this on a platter for Celie Strawn to just redirect back into the net, beat Hope Heisey on point-blank range, and put Dallas up in this first half.
You almost feel a weight lifted off the back of the Dallas players when that goal went in. 37th minute, and Dallas was back on the front foot again.
Just continued to put the pressure on Spokane, but they didn't go away the entire first half. It was a battle between the two of them until the very final whistle.
Yeah, both teams had their fair share of chances in those first 45 minutes, but it's Dallas who have the edge going into a pivotal second half here in Spokane. We'll kick off the second 45 minutes after the break. About to start the second half here on Peacock Gamebridge Super League. Dallas leading Spokane by 1-0. Spokane Zephyr are making a halftime adjustment here. Madeline Desiano is in. Kelsey Euler makes way. First change of the night for either side, and the teams switch sides as the second half is underway from One Spokane Stadium in Spokane, Washington. Sean St. Jacques, Jade Barkat, our entire crew, happy to have you with us. Celie Strawn with her second goal of the season. It was so well taken, has Dallas ahead and trying so desperately to end this 4-game losing streak and get back on track in the Gamebridge Super League. Spokane, of course, is trying to avoid what would be a third consecutive defeat if they cannot turn it around in the second half here at home. Early touch for Desiano on this near side. It's played all the way back for Thomas, who squares it towards the center circle. McCoy for tap-in as Spokane looks to get to work early and often at the start of the second half. Chance for Braun, who just left it, trying to play a little dummy move on the near side. It's a Zephyr throw.
Spokane really picking up right where they left off in the first half, wanting to get possession and then play up the field. That one given away, though, in the center of the pitch to Abogugu, who has the pace to really threaten the back line of Spokane.
We talked with the goal scorer, Celie Strawn, just before the main part of the halftime interval, and her point about just how her teammates in so many places on the field were there to back each other up in the battle for possession and in the fights, particularly that have happened in the midfield. That felt like a massive point to make and something that Dallas has really been looking for in a consistent manner. And obviously they felt they handled that well in the first half.
Well, that just shows that regardless of the number of wins, losses, and draws on their record, that this team is still very connected. When you're not winning and you're not scoring, the game can get really individualized, and players can start worrying about their own individual stats or how they make themselves look the best on the field. But this is a team sport at the end of the day, and Dallas showing their resilience and ability to work together as a whole team goal to get that one for Celie Strawn.
Ball in from Jaskinek is headed wide by Lena Solano, who has scored 3 times this season in the Gamebridge Super League, puts that one wide of the target.
A little bit of an awkward header for Solano there. I think she tried to redirect that ball as it was coming down for her, but it just went the opposite direction that she was intending for it, though. But a good look for Spokane early on in this half once again.
It's recovered well by Reese Tappan. Gets it back from the goalkeeper, Heisey. It's clipped up ahead down this near side. And that hopeful ball forward, Dallas have it covered, and then it is out for a Zephyr throw. Jaskinek trying to put the pressure on Balada. Desiano. Played further back by Thomas to Tappan. A lovely switch of play. At least it has the right idea on it. Too much velocity on it, and it's out for a throw-in. Header is nudged forward by Thornton. But to be fair, Spokane have kept relatively quiet, at least since the opening minutes of the game where she had a chance put in her path. She was not quite able to redirect on target. And the goal that Celie Strawn scored was just the 12th goal that Spokane has surrendered this season. Strawn keeps it in play. Eventually Dallas will clip it up onto this near side. Cameron Lancaster keeps it in play for Dallas Trinity. She cuts infield, tries to slither it through into the penalty area. And the offside flag. goes up. So the sequence will end there.
That was an absolute great effort by Cameron Lancaster to run that ball down after the switch over the top. She brought the ball inside, and then Allie Thornton was really the only person that was in the box for Dallas available to receive that ball. She made the good run up behind the back line of Spokane, but was called offsides. Reese Tappan had a great toe poke away so that it was not going to get through to her if she wasn't called offsides.
And this is McCoy. It's been moments where Spokane have had a decent spell of possession, but that have not really been able to create much from it, and I'm sure Dallas are very pleased with that at this point in the match.
Yeah, they've been able to contain Spokane, and yes, they've let them have the ball, but Spokane will give it away with passes like that or just interceptions and square balls across the middle of the pitch. Dallas is aware and picking off those balls and then regaining possession. That's the positive for Dallas that they haven't done as of late, is when they get the balls, trying to go forward as fast as possible instead of securing possession with those first two passes and then seeing where they can go forward from there.
Some Spokane pressure there, but then a heavy collision on that far side. I think it's Bellotta who is still down here. Got the worst of that for Dallas.
Just a hard collision there with Cam Tucker and Bellotta. It looked like it was just shoulder to shoulder. Might have taken the wind out of Bellotta there because she didn't see Tucker coming from her side or peripheral vision, but it's good to see that she is up and walking around. No need for the athletic training staff to come out and check on her there.
I think she also headed the ball as that happened simultaneously, so good to see that she got back up quickly there, like you said. We'll restart with a Dallas free kick. Well, the header is nudged down on that far side, and then at the byline is where Dallas Trinity run out of real estate, quite literally there, as Allie Thornton hits the advertising board there, but looks to be okay. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner of USL Spokane. Visit their downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue, open 7 days a week. Nice step there defensively by Emma Jaskinek. Trying to lead Zephyr forward here. And then the touch there by Solano. I think she was expecting it more off to one of her sides there. Spokane can still pick up the pieces on the far side. Darting run forward here by Cam Tucker. Dallas step in defensively to deal with it.
I think you're right, Sean. Solano was not aware that that ball was coming towards her as it was being played, but prime opportunity for Spokane to just remain on the front foot here in the second half to try to get a goal back quickly.
Well, that could help. Solano is brought down, and it's a Spokane Zephyr free kick. Both teams have had some dangerous and promising moments from set pieces tonight. Spokane's turn to try to make something happen here. Sophia Braun stands over it. That's a really dangerous ball in! And the header loops over the top from Reese Tappan, of all people.
Well, Sophia Braun, you couldn't have put this more on a platter for your teammates. That was a beautiful weighted pass, looping in right into the direction of her teammates in Spokane. Had the prime opportunity right there to score, eerily similar to how Dallas scored there in that first half, but it was Thomas who got the head on the ball just over the crossbar.
Out for a throw-in on this near side. Braun places it back into play. And then Dallas win it right back with Cameron Lancaster. Plays it onto this near side for Thornton. And Thornton loses her footing right at the end and gives it away. Well, an end-to-end moment there. Both teams with chances. That's poked forward. Lancaster won't get there. Tappan steps in. Balada. It's played out wide for Bogagu. One back by Spokane on the far side, and they could have numbers here if they hurry. That step in there still allows Spokane to move it forward. Then a heavy challenge comes in. And it'll be another free kick for the hosts as Jaskinek was upended. Now looks like Sarah McCoy is going to place the ball down here. One or two words from Haley Thomas. The Spokane fans stomp here. Try to drum roll up a chance. Clipped in by McCoy, headed towards the outskirts of the area, and then volleyed back in. Got volleyed off target by Lena Solano.
Well, another great ball in from Spokane. This one just more towards the back post, heading towards Jaskinek. And then Lena Solano finds herself with that trailing run at the top of the D, ready for any second balls. That one just not enough around it to square her hips to get it on goal.
Now the Gamebridge Super League season is in full swing. Visit GamebridgeSuperLeague.com for all the latest information, analysis, and insight into all things Gamebridge Super League. The run here from Lancaster is stalled. And then one back by Spokane in their own penalty area as we approach the hour mark. A chance maybe for Zephyr to stride forward here. There was a brief opening. No, but she was not able to take advantage of it. Was closed down on, and then Ubogagu does really well for Dallas defensively. But Spokane will get the throw. It looks like Ubogagu got a yellow card there for Dallas Trinity. Well, it's the first booking of the night for either side. If this result were to hold, Dallas would jump up from 8th to 7th in the Gamebridge Super League table. They'd be just ahead of Brooklyn, who lost earlier this afternoon at home to Lexington. And more importantly than that, Dallas would be 1 point back of Spokane, who are currently in 4th. And of course, Dallas do have a bunch of games in hand on Spokane Zephyr, 3 to be precise. how quickly things can change.
Yeah, that is the competitiveness of this league and how tight the standings are. Every single game does matter, especially when we get closer to the end of this fall portion of it. Before that break, you want to be playing your best soccer in that prime positioning, so when you come back in the spring, you are ready to go and play till the end. Both of these teams are needing points at this point to not only secure their spots in the standings, but also for their confidence as we head towards that break.
Great take here, by the way, by Lancaster. Strawn keeps it going out to the far side. Strawn on the edge of the area, not able to move it forward. It was touched away. It's clipped back into the middle. Oh, it was nearly a free header for Lancaster. She was unmarked, but she cannot put it on target.
It was the center back, Davidson, stepping up and floating this ball all the way to that back part of the 6-yard box where Cameron Lancaster was just hanging out. She didn't get the power on that head that she would have liked, like you mentioned, but she has been so instrumental in the attack of Dallas tonight, whether she's threatening with crosses and then cutting inside and then right there with that header opportunity for her. She's really been an instrument for this Dallas attack.
Sealy Strawn's goal back in the 29th minute still has Dallas ahead. Desiano for Spokane has the cross blocked out for a throw-in just to the left of the corner flag. From the throw-in, it's Jaskinek. Braun. Oh, it was actually really, really well done initially, but then Desiano was a bit too firm with the touch.
Spokane there was just trying to play in tight areas and get around the pressure of Dallas to look for a cross there. But like you said, Desiano just a little too heavy with the pass, but the movement was there for Spokane to create that opportunity.
Well, Zephyr fans, scan the QR code for your chance to win a $100 gift card to Rizauer's Supermarkets, official grocery store of your Spokane Velocity, and Zephyr FC. Desiano fit it through a tight space for Jaskinek, who was able to fight off a challenge.
Lancaster looked like she just bumped right off of Jaskinek there. She uses her body so well to protect the ball.
Oh, another good ball through the lines there. But Spokane again see the chance fizzle out. It was Cam Tucker trying to pick out a teammate. Well, Dallas Trinity are going to make a couple of changes here. Chioma Ubogagu is going to make way after picking up the yellow card to be replaced by Kylie Delaney. Cameron Lancaster is going to make way as well. And the Academy product, Rhea Moore, is going to take her spot. First two changes of the night for Dallas Trinity. And both are sort of to refresh the attack in a lot of ways there.
And Spokane's throwing a ton of numbers up top. They really need some firepower of their own to create more chances. They haven't had many here in this second half. And if they want to add any more to this lead, they're going to need those fresh legs.
was lofted down the line. Rhea Moore gives chase for Dallas. Oh, and wins the ball back for Dallas. Allie Thornton gets in space for a shot. And not only does she put it wide, she puts it out for a throw-in.
Well, she picked up that wear touch by Reese Tappan. And then, again, owning the moment. It's been a theme for both of these sides. They really just overthought it a little bit and took that shot way wide of the net and not even testing Hope Heisey at all.
You wonder if she had taken an extra touch, if that could have maybe turned into a chance for Dallas. Hinson, meanwhile, fizzing that ball across. Spokane will end up clearing their lines. And Wisner resets for Dallas Trinity. 25 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. When that was down the line on this near side, Gracie Bryan was able to fit it through, but it's off of Moore and out of play. Moore again. Clips it into the middle. It takes a big ricochet out of play off of Haley Thomas, who looks to be all right for Spokane. The throw-in is for Strawn. Then Moore to the byline. Wins a Dallas corner.
This is something that head coach Nicole Lukic did not want her team to give up tonight. Set pieces and specifically corner kicks. That's how they got scored on in that Tampa match. That was eventually the game winner for Tampa. Just moments like these where they have to be so clinical in their defensive side in the box. It's all about mentality on corner kick defending.
So from the corner, oh, the goalkeeper missed it. Didn't get a definitive touch on it. Not cleared yet. Dallas trying to find space to whip this ball back in. It's Sealy Strawn keeping it alive. And then it's just about kept in by Davison. And then the cross on the byline goes out for another Dallas corner. More and more pressure mounting on Spokane Zephyr. Can Dallas capitalize from these set pieces? Another Idaho Central Credit Union corner. It's whipped in right towards goal, just about punched away. Nearly a follow-up attempt from Delaney. Still with Dallas via a throw. Sealy Strawn thought better of it and goes back towards the halfway line. And Dallas trying to play through the lines here. It's one back by Spokane. And Emma Jaskinek. All the way back it goes to Foster. Plays over the top. Trouble here for Spokane, and they're going to get bailed out with the foul. Delaney nearly had a chance to go 1v1, but committed the harm in the process.
Oh, and she wanted it to. Just tries to pick up this ball. Did a lot of pressure on the back line for Spokane and made the foul happen because she was trying to just get around her defender in that moment, but so close for Delaney, who was really threatening there. She stepped on, and really her and Rhea Moore have really just upped the ante and the energy-wise for Dallas up there up top, and that's what they put in the game for. fresh legs, more energy. Can they get more opportunities on goal? And they have had the ball more since they've stepped on the pitch.
Balada leading Dallas forward, finds Thornton. Thornton plays it back, it's crossed into the middle. Delaney was the closest to it for Dallas. Balada tried to volley it, and it goes out of play. I'll scan now and you'll win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you, Caruso's, the Burger Dock, Flatstick Pub, Casa Tap House, Konala, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. Oh, that is a miscued touch on the far side. It's a Spokane throw. 20 minutes plus stoppage time left. Sophia Braun trying to slide it through. Nobody there. And Zephyr see it cleared out of play.
Tricky pass by Sophia Braun. She was looking one way and played another. Her teammates were not on the same page as her there. Unfortunate for them because they were confusing not only themselves but the back line of Dallas as well. That ball was going to slip through and perfectly in tune for Boone to run onto.
The goal that Sealy Strawn scored was Dallas's 10th of the season. They came in with just 9, which is the fewest in the Gamebridge Super League. That looks like it came off an arm there, potentially. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication between our officials on this near side. It's going to be a throw-in for Dallas. Trying to end this record-long run, at least for their club, with 4 losses in a row. But if Dallas does hold on, they'd get their 3rd clean sheet of the season, be their 4th win, and they'd end this 6-match run without a win, most importantly. Can they add on to the lead here? Another blocked cross on the far side. Both teams starting to struggle just to get service into the respective penalty areas here. Lata for Sealy Strawn, who does keep it going for Dallas here. Eventually it's too congested, so it's played all the way back for Wisner. Trying to pick out Moore on the near side. Moore continues to battle for it, but it's back with Spokane. It's clipped upfield, and again, Dallas had no issues with that. And then another good defensive step. Dallas just trying to close up all the gaps. Again, that playing for each other mentality that Sealy Strawn talked to us about at halftime on full display.
That's what I was just about to say, Sean. The defensive characteristics of Dallas are coming out majorly here in the second half. The way that they are going for one another, covering each other on every single play is so apparent, and it shows of how much that they want this win.
Thornton played that in behind for Delaney to chase. It is going to be a Dallas Trinity throw. So Guidry have a chance to pick somebody out here. Guidry ends up getting the ball right back. And on the byline, crosses it into the middle where McCoy is there to clear it, but not definitively yet. Follow-up cross. He's caught by Heisey. Ooh, that's a miscued touch. Did that open the door for Spokane? Not quite, as Solano is dispossessed. And then it's a poor pass forward that allows Spokane to get right back on it. Braun. Lovely ball down this near side. Jaskinek to the byline. The cross into the middle. Oh, it went through the goalkeeper's hands. And then the attempt is skied by Charlie Boone on the back stick.
Jaskinik makes a run all the way up this near wing, puts the ball on a platter. It goes through the hands of Riley Foster. And if you're Charlie Boone, you have to put this in the back of the net. It takes an awkward bounce as it drops, but if you are charging onto the ball, all you have to do is redirect it into the back of the net. Spokane needed that moment. It was their best chance of this second half so far. And just over the crossbar for Spokane and Boone.
And Dallas got away with one there. Chris Petroselli's talked about trying to stop some of these goalkeeping mistakes. Riley Foster should have caught that ball out of the air and missed it.
And Boone was wide open on that back post. Everyone was so focused on the ball side. They weren't set in the box and really scanning the field to know where the runners were coming when they were going back into the box. And Charlie Boone found herself in a prime position, just could not finish that one for Zephyr.
Well, that could turn out to be a huge missed opportunity. We'll have to wait and see on that. It's out for a Dallas Trinity throw on the far side. 14 minutes and stoppages left in the game. Played forward for Braun, who does have space to run into here. Tries to play it up ahead again. It's to no one in particular, really. Dallas had it covered. But then there's more Zephyr pressure here that Dallas have to play through. But they do give it away on this near side. And now Nicole Lukic making sure her team gets the ball back in quickly. Reese Tappan. Desiano. Tappan playing it forward against Spokane, trying to get the equalizer here. Solano was closed down, not once but twice, and lost out. And Dallas clear their lines. Thornton and Strawn, ooh, giving chase here is Strawn, and she wins it back for Dallas and wins a free kick. Wonderful effort there. That stoppage is going to lead to a couple of changes here for Spokane. Thais Hayes is going to come on along with Felicia Knox. Ginger Fontenot and Lena Solano are going to make way here. It's a double swap for Nicole Lukic. And Spokane now have 2 substitutions remaining. Dallas restart the play. Ooh, and it's going to bounce over the head of Moore, who actually had space to run into if she had kept that in play. The bounce does not help her out. That is clipped down the line. Kept in well in the end by Hintzen, but then again, not able to hold on to it for very long, are Dallas here. It's threaded out to this near side from Moore. Moore wasn't closed down. She gets the shot away, but it does bounce wide.
And that is the ability of Rhea Moore there. She takes this ball with time and space, nobody really stepping to her there to close down, and she will take every inch that you give her. That was a rocket of a shot that had a lot of spin on it just outside of that front post for Hope Heisey.
It falls relatively kindly for Dallas initially, but then Spokane swarm and win the ball back off of Kylie Delaney. The step in there nearly wins it back for Spokane, but Dallas keep it moving. Ball in behind is for Rhea Moore. Moore cutting inside and now cutting towards the byline. The cross is blocked. And Spokane are able to clear it, but can't keep possession. It does feel like both teams have struggled to keep a sustained bit of possession in the last 10-15 minutes.
It's been a pretty back and forth game as this clock has wound up, but as time winds down in this match, trying to get a feel for it. Spokane's trying to claw back in this one and at least get one and then hope to get two, and Dallas is searching for that second goal to add more to the score sheet.
Lovely ball from Jaskinek, helped along by Hayes. Cam Tucker. Tucker will shoot, and it was a bit of an ambitious effort to say the least, particularly with 4 or 5 Zephyr players queuing up.
Yeah, that ball has got to be chipped into the mix. It can't be back post. All of the entire set line for Dallas was right near the 18-yard box, so she just has to chip that one over, not put too much on it. Really been a point of emphasis for Cam Tucker and head coach Nicole Lukic is just lofting those balls in or finding the right weight for the people in the box.
Jaskinek for Desiano. It's poked to the edge of the area again, that time by Knox. Nobody there for Spokane, and Dallas clear it again. There's still time left for Spokane, but you wonder if they're starting to run a little short on ideas here in the final third. Tucker will try again here. Tucker's cross is blocked. It falls for Tappan. Back for Tucker. Oh, what a save. Riley Foster's done it again for Dallas. A brilliant save in the first half. Another fantastic stop here late in the second half.
Reese Tappan, the center back of Cam Tucker, coming up and giving her a high five after this shot was ripped outside of the 18. She finds herself in a central position this time. Nobody stepping to her. That ball's curling towards that left post, and Riley Foster has to come up huge for Dallas Trinity here as time is ticking down and Spokane is knocking on the door.
Another ICCU corner. It's going to be halted here by Mark Verso, our referee. And he has a conversation with Felicia Knox about impeding the goalkeeper, it looks like. Spokane desperate to find the equalizer. Hayes from the corner. The cross into the middle. Oh, it was a little bit of an overhead kick. The volley is blocked, I should say. And then the follow-up is skewered well wide. 3 chances for Spokane, but Dallas didn't give them an inch. Oh, Spokane make a change here. Desiano, who actually came on at halftime, he's going to come out here. And Shea Collins, he's going to come in for Spokane Zephyr. Bit of an interesting move there by Nicole Lukic. But I guess desperate times call for desperate measures here. 6 minutes plus stoppage time left. Spokane are staring a second consecutive home defeat by a 1-goal scoreline here in the face. Dallas trying to do everything they can to end the losing streak. That's poked forward to Moore. Lovely cutback by Rhea Moore. Moore could seal it. Oh! And the shot just kept on rising from the substitute. That could have been checkmate.
Such a crafty move. She cuts this one on her left foot, but that second touch just takes her a little bit outside of the goalposts, and she has to get her hips around it to try to get it back on frame. That one just went high and wide, but Rhea Moore, what a bright spot for this Dallas Trinity side.
Collins, first involvement for Spokane. Cross into the middle, deflected away, and cleared by Dallas.
And box defending is a key piece for Dallas Trinity, and head coach Petrucelli, he really emphasized the importance of the details in the box, especially when they have the lead. And doing those little things will eventually give you the win. He said his team was not doing that before. They would take those lapses off, and they have done all of the right things tonight.
Another header nudged forward by Delaney, but it's out of play. Spokane's expected goals earlier on in this half was well under 1. It's at 1.65 at the moment, but they haven't gotten the equalizer yet. Still on the prowl here, it's Emma Jaskinek, and it's a huge block right off the edge of the 6-yard box. Critical defending. I think it was Wisner who gets her head onto it again on the ball back into the middle. Huge defensive moments for Dallas. And on this near side, they cannot keep it in play. It's a Spokane throw.
And none other than their captain, Amber Wisner, who makes both saves in that run of play. She was coming behind her defense in that cover, blocking Riley Foster in the process, but doing everything she can to put her body in front of the ball and clear it away, and then coming up huge with that header to clear it out of the box. Wisner, who's normally in the central part of the pitch as a midfielder for Dallas, dropped back into that center back position tonight for McCutcheon and has played tremendous. She's such an experienced player on this Dallas team and really commands the back line tonight and has come up huge for Dallas, like you just saw there.
Free kick for Spokane. Hayes was brought down and the referee brought it back. It will be Sophia Braun to provide the service for Zephyr. Braun with a good delivery. Oh, was up for grabs in the middle. Jaskinek blocked out for a corner on the far side. 2.5 minutes plus stoppages left. Another ICCU corner. Lofted into the middle, and the flicked header. Well wide. I'll stay up to date with the Gamebridge Super League. Sign up for the Super newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox weekly. Sign up at GamebridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter. The headlines from this game at the moment will be Dallas ends the losing streak unless Spokane can grab a late equalizer here. You could feel Nicole Lukic's side getting closer and closer. But are they going to run out of time here, Zephyr?
And they've had their opportunities, they just have not been able to put them away. Dallas really has been defending for most, if not all, of this second half. They've had spurts of opportunities from breakaways here and there, but this second half has mostly been all Zephyr. They just have not been able to put the ball in the back of the net.
Down the line here, Thais Hayes to the byline, and she is shepherded out of play. Brilliant defending by Sierra Hinson, and it's a goal kick as we are into the 90th minute. A heavy battle for the ball in the middle of the park here. It's lofted over the top. Can Delaney run this down here for Dallas? She's eventually going to get there. Strawn is in the middle. Delaney loses out in the end. And then a heavy collision there. Possible head injury. Sees the referee stop the play right there. Sealy Strawn is still down. She is clearly in discomfort.
Just a really tough collision between those two, both not looking at each other, just going straight for the ball, but collide in the process. Both who have played so hard in this match tonight. Sophia Braun for Spokane, and then Sealy Strawn for Dallas, the goal scorer.
A substitution here for Dallas. Tamara is going to come in for Sealy Strawn, who cannot continue. Into 2 added minutes, that's a minimum of 2. Strawn is now back in after that Tamara substitution was made. Good to see Strawn back in there after a possible head injury there, and Tamara coming in to try to help Dallas get this over the line. Spokane deep in their own end here, are not able to get it out yet. Offside flag goes up against Delaney. And Spokane have to try to go the length of the pitch here. Obviously, it's up to the referee now how much longer the match continues on for. Out of play for a Zephyr throw. Is there time for one more late twist? Dallas looked to dribble out the clock at the bare minimum here. It's laid off for Moore. Moore could settle it. Oh, and she does with a wonderful finish. Game, set, and match. Dallas Trinity. They have won it here in stoppage time. Moore seals all 3 points and finally puts an end to this 4-game losing streak. It's official. Dallas are back on track.
And it's Moore at the whistle as Tamara stepped onto this pitch and said, "We're not done yet." She passes this off to Moore, who is in a better position than her. This time Moore cuts it back onto her right foot and just sees that tiny window and takes her shot front post. Hope Heisey did not have it covered. She just slipped it right in there and puts Dallas ahead right at the whistle.
That's it. Full time. Moore's goal is the last act of the night in the Gamebridge Super League. It is a massive road victory for the Dallas Trinity. They jump up to 7th place in the Gamebridge Super League, and they finally end the 4-game losing streak. They end the 6-match run without a win, and they finally, as Chris Pestrzelli was hoping, are seeing the smiles again on the faces of the Dallas Trinity players. Moore seals all 3 points for Dallas, and we'll wrap it up next. full time here in the Gamebridge Super League. A massive victory for Dallas Trinity. They come to Spokane, Washington, and they beat Spokane Zephyr by 2-0. Sealy Strawn and Rhea Moore on the score sheet as Dallas pick up a much-needed win. We are joined pitchside by the winning goalkeeper, Riley Foster. Riley, thanks so much for joining us. You made a couple of fabulous saves throughout the game, but what does this win mean for you and for the group to get back on track here?
Yeah, I don't think there's any hiding that there's been a long journey for us. The last few games have been really challenging, not picking up wins and being on the road for that time. But to finally get everything to fall into place, to see the team perform the way they did, is absolutely amazing. This is a lot of hard work, a lot of going back to the drawing board, a lot of resilience, and to fight back and to come out on the road and to win like we did after the last time here is absolutely amazing and a massive testament to the team.
I mean, you guys came out on fire and you remained that way throughout the 90 minutes, despite like what you mentioned, going through this tough time. What has kept this team so connected?
I think the girls, like honestly, we have a very tight-knit group. We're very unified, and honestly, there's so much good conversation and hard work that goes on behind the scenes. Everyone's talking, everyone's working together. We all have the same goal. We all knew that we were in the suck together and we're in that valley together, but to come out on top like we did today, it's again a testament to how hard we've been working and what this group's really about.
Riley, thanks so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it, and again, congrats on the win.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
That's Riley Foster from the victorious Dallas Trinity. We dive into the full-time highlights here. Sean and Jade here with you. We start here with Spokane on the front foot, and the aforementioned Foster making a wonderful save early on.
She had to come up big early on in this match after Ginger Fontenot had a fantastic header from point-blank range, and that would be the play of the match because of the Riley Foster save that she had to keep her team in it. But Dallas would use that as motivation on the opposite end of the pitch. This ball in on a platter for Sealy Strawn, the youngster who just tapped it back into the back of the net. Gertie with an absolutely perfectly timed cross, and Sealy Strawn, all she had to do was redirect it back into the net.
And from there, to be fair to Dallas, Spokane had a lot of the possession. They had a lot of chances. They put a lot of pressure on Dallas. They sustained all of that, and then they landed the knockout punch in stoppage time.
Tamara stepped on the field for just stoppage time, really to help Sealy Strawn off the pitch, but Rhea Moore comes up, who's had taken so many shots in this second half, cuts this onto her right side. They get the absolute window of a lifetime for Moore just to put the cherry on top of this win for Dallas.
Second goal of the season from Moore wraps it up. Full-time stats look like this, and frankly, Spokane thoroughly outshot Dallas overall. Shots on target were a lot slimmer of a margin, and frankly, Dallas was more clinical. 2 shots on target, they both went in.
And that's what matters when you're clinical in front of the net and the shots go in. It really doesn't matter about the other stat categories. Dallas did defend for most of that second half. You see the possession. Spokane had most of the ball, but Dallas, they bent, but they did not break, and they came out with their first win in a very long time for them and their first clean sheet since September 19th.
And with all those games in hand that Dallas have, all of a sudden the picture looks a lot different, particularly towards the bottom of the Gamebridge Super League. Much needed victory for the Dallas Trinity on the road. They end the 4-game losing streak. Strawn and Moore lead the way, and they win it by 2-0. For Jay Barquette and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. So long from Spokane. Dallas wins it by 2.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.